We are a specialist business support provider. We work with companies that want to export, or in particular want to export to Africa. I'd really like to explore today some of the key facts and evidence that I have that illustrates to us definitely that you should be trading with Africa. You should be trading in the countries in sub-Saharan Africa because that is a huge opportunity to grow your business and really come on leaps and bounds. I have a few facts that I'd like to read out to you. Did you know that the continent of Africa has 1.6 trillion collective GDP as of 2008? It's still growing. It's growing much faster, of course, than the Eurozone. Now, this level of GDP is comparable to Brazil, and it's also comparable to Russia. It's also comparable to the UK. Did you also know that the combined consumer spending in 2008 in Africa was 860 billion US dollars? This is projected to rise to around 1.4 trillion by 2020. Africa has the fastest growing telecommunications market in the world. There are currently 316 million subscribers. However, those subscribers were only got within the last 10 years. It's also worth understanding that in Africa, people run their lives with their mobile telephones. They pay money in, they receive money, they receive advertising, as well as make calls and do the normal surfing. Basically, they use their telephones as their mini computers. 20 African countries have achieved revenues of at least $3 billion. There are quite a few that are close on their tails, and what we're finding is that those companies are trading across the region, not just in one country, and that's what we feel that some of our clients outside of the region could also do and generate significant revenue, perhaps on the same sort of scale. Across Africa, governments and private organizations are currently investing around $72 billion annually in infrastructure. This is just roads and telecommunications and sewages, basically the raw infrastructure needed for people to live a normal life. But what that means is that Africa is becoming very urbanized. Lots and lots of people are moving into cities, and the middle classes are developing, and therefore the consumer requirements are growing as all of that infrastructure has been put into place. A few facts about the rate of growth about some of the sub-Saharan countries and also in the BRIC countries. Did you know that Botswana has had a growth rate last year of 12.4%? If we compare that to the UK's recent growth of 0.5%, it just goes to show the scale of opportunity that there are in some of these countries. In addition, it's worth knowing that the top 10 countries in Africa by growth have growth rates that are higher than both Brazil and Russia. Brazil had a growth rate of 3.1% last year, whilst Russia had a growth rate of 3.4%. The top 10 countries by growth in sub-Saharan Africa had growth rates of between 12.4% and 4%, all of which are much higher than Brazil and Russia. Should you decide that you want to have a look around there, you wouldn't be the first. A good case study is a US investment firm that has been in Africa since 1999. In that time, they've made over 50 investments across 40 countries. And on average, they have generated 3 times what they've invested. They have invested in infrastructure, in telecoms, and in consumer products. They currently have 7 funds, and they have had over 50 investments, 20 of which have exited. And like I said earlier, they've achieved 3 times the investment that they've put in. Some of the main drivers for the growth that's been experienced across Africa is the thirst of the rest of the world for liquid fuel, that's oil to you and me, and also hard minerals. A few quick points. Africa has 10% of the world's reserves of oil. Africa also has 40% of the world's reserves of gold, 80 to 90% of chromium and platinum. On our website, we have a great deal of information about some of the current opportunities that there are for large contracts, small contracts, in different sectors, in different countries. We also have a wealth of market intelligence. Some of it is sector related, others are country related. Basically, we've got the information that can help you to start to analyze and assess how you should be in Africa, where you should be in Africa, and start to pull together a clear plan of action.